Okay, shall we get the meeting started?
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, tonight, those of you who are watching out in TV land, we have a little bit different setup. We do have a couple of council members that are doing this by way of electronic calling in, but we'll still do the roll call here.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Here.
Kurtz,
Here.
O'Loughlin.
Yes.
Okay, start out here, take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Scharf and O'Loughlin. All those in favor signify saying aye.
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 Okay. And this one, I'm not even going to bring up tonight, unless Dick is going to be the public. Okay, so no public comment. Due to our current situation, we're not having public involved here right in the City Hall, but I do believe, Al, you did set it up that if somebody has a question, they can call.
We have our text number. We also have the city manager email available. And with any luck, I'm going to get this chat connected on our YouTube video. Texting and emailing would be the most effective for anybody out there that has a comment, and those contact information is on the top of the agenda.
Okay, so if anybody has a question as we go through tonight's agenda, that's your means of getting a hold of us here at City Hall. All right, do I have a motion to, well, first, I guess I have to read it. A motion to accept and approve the consent agenda that approves the following: the minutes of the March 9th, 2020 regular meeting and March 9th, 2020 special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Okay, we'll have Mike this one and Carl seconding it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, passes. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of the claims. Do I have a motion to approve the claims?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, we'll have Jen and Mike seconding it. We can just do roll call, can't we, on that?
I just need it all in favor is fine.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. Okay, we're down to hearings, ordinances. We have the first item is the second reading of our ordinance adopting the speed camera. Anybody have any discussion or thing they want to mention? I looked through this and I noticed we did cross out the items that we discussed last meeting that we didn't want included in it. So,
This should reflect exactly what you were asking for in the last meeting, the modifications based on the amended version that was approved on first reading.
okay. Do I have a motion to, for the second reading, approval of the second reading?
So moved.
Okay, Scharf,
Second.
Second.
okay, second by Mike. Lachlan. Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Callahan,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah.
No.
Okay, motion carries. Next item is the speed camera fine. And again, that was a change to meet what we amended it. We dropped the initial level out.
On the, when it's not in the school zone, that was modified. The school zone was left the same as it was previously. The stop camera violation was removed.
Okay, any questions? A motion to approve the second reading for the speed camera fines?
So moved.
Okay, Sharf? Do I have a second? Okay, Mike? Okay, we'll have a roll call on that?
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
No.
Callahan,
Yes.
Okay, second reading, we'll be voting on the third reading for all of those, or I guess we got another one down here. Illegal dumping ordinance, so we got second reading for that. Any questions, any comments on that? Okay, this has to do primarily with the, up at Waste Management, doesn't it, Al?
This is the Waste Management Recycle Center. Just to refresh everybody's memory, Waste Management has agreed to reinstall the gate and open the center up for public access if the city agrees to put the cameras in. And this illegal dumping ordinance for both that and the tree dump would give us more teeth, if you will, in that ordinance to enforce. The gate will not be put in until the ordinance is in place and the cameras are installed, so we can enforce it.
Has the camera been installed?
Cameras have not been installed at this point. We're working on that with Indytel for power and Office Town for the cameras. Office Town will be doing the installation. The one thing that we are waiting on is Waste Management is working on their server, securing if we can use their internet or if we have to use our own internet connection, add another one. The equipment will be stored in the Waste Management facility, so it's secured. It's just about how do we have that internet connection so that the PD can access the cameras, the video, if there's a violation, without actually having to go into Waste Management's facility. And we need their IT folks to bless that. They've had some conversation. We're just waiting for that final approval. But the cameras, again, once they come in, they'll get installed. We'll work on that, but we do have to work through that internet connection piece.
What do we anticipate for a month from now, or?
I would say that we'll have them in April. Well, that was the original plan. We'll see how things go here, but I anticipate April we'll have that reopened.
Okay. For those that may be not familiar with it, this is the city's efforts to get the bulk cardboard recycling area reopened that was closed due to garbage and other things being dumped up there. County and Waste Management closed it off, and thanks to city staff, we've been able to work out an agreement, and we are putting the cameras in, and they will be able to read license numbers so that if people dump something that's not supposed to be up there, there will be some pretty hefty fines on that. So that's what this is all about. A motion to approve the second reading.
So moved.
Okay, Carl?
Second.
Deb on the second. Okay, roll call?
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
No.
Callahan,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Okay, so the second reading has passed. At the next meeting, all three of these will be doing the third reading, and they will go into effect if we pass it at that time.
Correct.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the Bachman request for purchasing .02 acres of right-of-way on 11th Avenue Northeast adjacent to property he owns. This, again, is the third reading. He is paying the city for a section of right-of-way that kind of squares everything up there. Any questions on that?
Would you, again?
I have a comment.
Okay, Mike Hayward?
First of all, I have no process with the sale of this property or this chunk of land. I have a problem with the process. We had a process in place, and then we kind of arbitrarily deviated from that. And I'm afraid by doing that, we could open up a can of worms every time we go to sell a parcel of property. And I think we're setting ourselves up for some grief. Like I said, it's extremely logical that this should be sold to the Bachman property that surrounds it. But I'm opposed to changing the process.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
That's all.
Okay, any other comments?
I was just gonna, as we voted last time, clarification on the price change was noted, correct?
Yes, yeah, this
Yes.
is the changed price here.
Correct.
Yeah, this, the price, we met in the middle, it was a 50-cent
Yeah.
reduction from the original price. It should be $2,395.92. And that's based on 268 a square foot. Again, 218 to 318 was the spread that was discussed at the original meeting, and that would be the 50-cent meet in the middle, if you will.
Okay, all right, so any other comments or questions? Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the third reading and final passage of
So
this
moved.
sale. Okay, Carl?
Second.
Mike, second. Okay, roll call?
Sharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
No.
Hayward,
No.
Hill,
Yes. Okay, the third reading passes and the sale now has been completed. Okay, the next item under hearings and ordinances is a motion to set the date of public hearing for April 27th, 2020 at 6:30 PM in City Hall Council Chambers for the approval of the fiscal year 2019 budget amendment and budget transactions. So we're simply setting a public hearing. This is something we do every year at the end of the year where we move money to different areas where it was needed and should be, and we end up with a balanced budget. So,
Motion for hearing.
okay, Carl,
Second.
Mike, second. Okay, roll call.
we can just do a simple motion on this one.
Okay, voice, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we set the public hearing. Okay, moving on down. Talking now about the 2020 pavement rehabilitation project. First item here is to have a motion to receive and file proof of publication of a public hearing.
So moved.
Sharf?
Second.
O'Loughlin? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, that is passed. Next, motion to hold a public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, Sharf?
Second.
Okay, Mike? Okay, all those in favor of going in, holding a public hearing signify saying aye.
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 Okay, we are now in public hearing. Have we had any written correspondence or communication on this?
I haven't received anything in my office.
Okay. Obviously, we don't have any public in the room to make any public comments. Any council members have any questions or comments on this?
Is Brian, let us know if there's been,
We'll get into that just a little bit later in the process.
yeah, because
There was a question about whether or not the list of streets is up to date. The answer is yes. it is the original 17 blocks that were listed on the plans and specifications.
Do you have a name and address for that person?
I have a phone number.
Okay.
And yeah, so for those that text in or email in, a name and a phone number would be appreciated for public hearings because we're required to record those. Again, for the public hearing on the proposed plans and specs, there is no change.
Okay. All right, seeing no further comments or emails, have you gotten any more, Al?
No, that was Mr. Klotzbach that had asked the
Okay,
question.
thank you.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
Okay, Carl,
Second.
second by Mike. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, we are now out of public hearing. See, that takes care of that. Moving on then to the resolution fully approving and confirming plan specifications, form of contract, and estimate of the cost for the 2020 pavement rehabilitation project. We need a motion to approve those items.
So moved.
Okay, Carl?
Second.
Deb? Okay, need a roll call on this one. Okay,
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
yes.
Sharp.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, now, I think this is where, Mike, you were coming in here, the consideration of bids for the 2020 pavement rehabilitation project. Al, maybe you could bring us up to speed on that?
Yes, we had three bids, Aspro, Heartland, and Chig Fry all bid on the project. The low bid was Aspro at $590,863.75. The one thing that Brian Crawford asked me to mention to you that was not expected is DOT is requiring 20, I think he said 29 handicap ramps on the sidewalks where they approach onto the street over this project area that be replaced in conjunction with this project. That was not originally deemed necessary, and DOT came in and said they want those added. So while we came in very close to engineer's estimate, actually his original estimate, I think we were budgeting $592,000. Their estimate at, when we went out to bid was $612,000. So this came in very favorable. But we do have those ramps that are going to have to be replaced.
And they're included in that price?
Well, it's a unit price, so as far as we know they are, but again, it's a unit price contract, so that's our
bid-
best guess.
When the bids were let, were those approaches placed in the,
Those were not in the original plans, so that's something that will have to be done. And I'm not sure, in talking with Brian today, I have the impression that that would probably add to that 590,000. But again, he was optimistic on some of this working out in our favor, but it's, again, he wanted to make sure you knew that those have to be added.
How many approaches did we think there was?
I don't believe there was any approaches in our original plans to be replaced on this project.
Okay,
heck is on Bland alone. Bland and Sixth, Richard has a new approach.
Yeah, no, and this is just the sidewalk approaches onto the street that have to be upgraded. And remember, they may be handicap accessible at the time they were put in, but if they have to be upgraded to meet the new standard, that would be where the change would be.
so does that mean that I guess, does that mean that all of those are necessary, or can we look at those and some of them may not be necessary to be changed?
Well, those are the ones that I believe they're identifying as necessary.
Okay.
DOT, if we want the 295,000, we have to upgrade those handicap ramps to meet current specifications.
I guess my question is, out of our three bidders here, I hope everybody be fair, and we don't have one way up here to make up a little difference over here, if you know what I'm saying. This kind of puts the ball in their court, I know, but we still get to paddle.
Well, yes, but I want to point out, this is a state bid letting. We did not let the bids locally. That's all done in Ames. And so, we're following
Their guy.
their guidance on that. There is a significant difference because ASPRO at 590,000, the other two bidders were north of 720,000. So there's a very large spread in the bids. I'm not sure I know why that would be, but, we have a bid, we only need one, we can only award one contract, so optimistically, I think we're in pretty good shape, but we
Should
do
we have the
have to.
bids, though, with the approaches done to see how much difference that's gonna be?
Well, and that's a part I can't speak to directly, as to, how much of that was or was not included. I would have to assume that some of it is included in the bid. If the state is requiring that or requesting that.
Okay, I would hope that being there's almost $130,000 difference here, that those
Well-
approaches, what were we estimating approaches to be? Remember, we were talking about our own approaches. I can't remember what
Yeah,
we thought they
We
would
have
cost.
30,000 in ours.
So,
There can only be a certain deviation in, I know it's a unit price contract. It can't deviate too far before we have to go back out, if I understand the bidding laws.
Rebid it.
Right. And I apologize, I just don't want to swear to you that, how much of that was in there or not. If DOT requires it, I'm thinking that it should be in there, but I don't have that for a fact, so.
so if they came back with $200,000 to put in those approaches, we could go back to the bidding process?
That's my understanding.
Okay. Okay, any other questions on that?
But right now, Al, they all got the same specifications. I mean,
They all have the same specifications.
okay,
They're bidding apples to apples. There isn't one person bidding approaches and the other one not.
Gotcha.
It's across the board, they're all bidding the same plans.
okay.
Okay, I would entertain a motion. Let's see, what did I get out of consideration for? Okay, was that more just for information there?
Yes. Now you'll need a resolution awarding a contract for the 2020 pavement rehab project.
Okay, so that would be letter D, motion to approve resolution contract for 2020 pavement rehabilitation project in the amount of $590,863.75 to Aspro Inc.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Carl,
Second.
second by Mike, and we'll have a roll call vote on that.
O'Loughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes,
Callahan,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes,
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
Okay, contract awarded. One thing with Aspro Inc., they are out of Waterloo, so they don't have too far to travel. And seeing in the Waterloo Courier, Aspro does a ton of city work over in Waterloo, so I'm sure they're aware of what state requires.
Yeah, and I think they're a good company. They've done work in this area I think all three of your contractors that bid on here are reputable, so.
Okay, under resolutions, we need a motion to approve a resolution amending Resolution 2020-12, listing maximum levy dollars in place of rate. And at this time, the maximum levy dollars, I believe, were
$3,058,642.
okay. And the reason we're doing that is, again, because of the changes in state laws last year. And that is greater than 2% over last year. Do we know what percent over last year that'll be?
I don't have that percentage over.
What this is you already approved this resolution. This is the resolution we did before we had to work on our budget. After review, the county auditor has just asked that we list the maximum dollars rather than the rate. We had included the
Okay.
rate in the resolution, and she would like the dollars. So this is just changing that rate into converting it into dollars instead. Nothing else has changed.
I
It's
think after I
exactly
read the
same.
bill from the legislature on this, we have to do this every time we.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you, Gina.
Yep.
All right, take a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Okay, Mike,
Second.
second by Deb. Okay, roll call.
Hannah,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
Kurtz,
Yes.
O'Loughlin.
Yes.
Okay, moving down to other business, we have City of Independence COVID-19 policy, work from home agreement, Independence. Al, maybe you could explain that?
Yeah, These two go hand in hand. This is as presented by the city attorney in response to the most recent changes in FMLA law. This is a temporary policy that we're being recommended to approve or adopt that reflect, excuse me, the changes in FMLA. We've also added a travel policy and a work-from-home policy, again, vetted through the city attorney's office. This allows for part-time employees after 30 calendar days of employment to be eligible for family medical leave benefits. It allows them to be paid after a 10-day, what do they call it, a window.
Waiting
The first,
period.
the first 10 days they don't get paid for. After that, they do. There's some provisions in here for, look, if you're sick, we don't want you at work, and it spells that out in pretty significant detail. Parents that have children at home but don't have daycare because of COVID-19 are also eligible for this. It really protects the employees who are ill, they have an ill family member, they have children at home that need care, whatever the case might be, all, again, included in the FMLA modification that just came out last week. We added a travel policy in here. If anybody is traveling out of state, we're asking them to let us know. Again, if they're sick, fever, coughing, sneezing, shortness of breath, et cetera, there are guidelines for reporting it and what to do as we go through this pandemic.
With that in mind, it came to my attention today, I had several phone calls from people, that the city or the county is having people stay home, their people stay home beginning tomorrow till April 3rd. They only have to come in for essential functions. For example, one of the guys I know, he works with the bridge crews, he does the slump samples, so he has to come in order to complete that task. When he's not, he's to go home, And the same with the other rank and file employees with the county, and they're not charging them any sick leave or vacation. Just, are we considering such a move?
We are looking at all options right now. We have a number of employees that we consider essential. At the wastewater plant, we're alternating water and wastewater. We have 4 staff. Two of them are on one day, 2 are on the next. If somebody were to become ill, we don't want them sharing it with the entire crew there. So we're alternating or splitting shifts. Excuse me. We're doing a similar process with the administration at the PD, here at City Hall with Gina and Susie, making sure that we try and, protect ourselves as best we can for those essential functions. At this point, we're not sending anybody home. We're trying to conduct our business. Street crews are primarily outside. Everybody's in their own vehicle. I apologize for the inefficiency, but the recommendation is everybody's in their own vehicle. And so we're following that. Parks and Rec, most of their work is outdoors. Again, as best we can, keeping them separate, keeping the social distancing guidelines, but getting the work done that is outside. River's Edge, Falcon Civic Center are shut down. Those things that should not be open or where we don't want people congregating, they're closed down. Mostly at this point, it's affecting part-time employees, and we're working through that with the guidance from the state and, through the Workforce Development Center. But all of what we're doing is really trying to adhere to those guidelines that are provided to us. Gina and I have started talking about some work-from-home possibilities. We just don't have a lot of functions that really lend themselves to a work-from-home policy, although that is included in this, so that as we move toward that, if we get a shelter-in-place or shelter-at-home declaration from the governor, it will open up some of those possibilities, but we just don't have a lot of people that fit that. So all of our essential functions are here. We're pretty lean. We don't have a lot of non-essential people when you take a look at it. So we're going to be careful with that piece of it. But what we're asking you to do right now is adopt this modified FMLA policy due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This one identifies today as the effective date until further notice. The further notice is because we expect further guidance coming from the federal government on these things. We want this in place until such time as that comes out. When it comes out, we'll bring you the new policies, whatever they are, and we're not sure what it'll say. These do go to the point where when this is over, and we're convinced that there will be an end to this, we don't know when, we'll come back to you and ask you to remove these guidelines. The FMLA guidance is through, I believe, the end of 2020, or there was some discussion about stretching it out through the year, but we don't know that. So this is one that we'll put into place. When this is over, this will come off, it'll end, and we'll go back to our handbook guidance.
Okay, good. Thank you, Al. Will anybody else have a question or comment on this? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the COVID policy.
So moved.
Okay, Mike and Carl seconding it. Roll call vote.
Callahan?
She didn't hear you.
Callahan? I think they might have dropped call because it kept trying to ring in, I think.
John, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can't get the other party back.
Texted me, said Hayward and Callahan both got disconnected.
I figured that was the beeping that we were hearing.
Hello.
I got you back. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, John, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, we're back to normal.
Mike, you got to keep putting a dime in the meter.
We had a motion by O'Loughlin and a second by Sharp to adopt the COVID-19 policy, and we were getting ready to do roll call.
Did you guys hear what that was all about, or do you have questions on it?
We got cut off pretty much at the end of that discussion.
Okay, so you're aware of what it is and what we're doing.
Yep,
Okay, roll call.
Callahan?
Yes.
Hayward?
yes,
Hill?
Yes.
Sharp?
Yes.
Kurtz?
Yes.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Okay, moving on down, we now entertain a motion to approve Gator Manufacturing site plan in accordance with our development agreement. That would be what, probably our TIF agreement with them?
Yes, at the last meeting, we approved the development agreement with Gator Manufacturing. However, inside of that, there's also a requirement to approve a site plan for the addition, which is included in this agenda item. So I'm just asking for the council to approve their site plan, which is an addition onto the existing building, same construction materials and type as what's there currently. It all fits within the guidelines that we'd be concerned about.
Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, entertain
motion to
motion.
approve,
Whoa,
Hayward.
oh, okay, Mike Hayward, second?
Second.
Second by Deb. Okay, sorry, Mike, I didn't know if you had a question or you're making the motion, so we'll entertain, we'll do a roll call now.
Hayward?
yes,
Hill?
Yes.
Sharp?
Yes.
Kurtz?
Yes.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Callahan?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. All right, the final item on our agenda tonight is the approval of purchase of a pickup for the utility department. Motion to approve pickup purchase for the utility department from Dunlap Motors in the amount of $24,025.00.
I think that's $45.00.
I couldn't tell. I was
Yeah.
questionable on that.
No, it's okay. $24,045 is the total bid.
What, we almost got out of paying Fred $20?
He'd have caught us.
Is Fred, did he call in yet? Okay, so, any questions on that? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase.
So moved.
Okay, Carl,
Second.
second by Mike. Okay, roll call.
Hill?
Yes.
Sharp?
Yes.
Kurtz?
Yes.
O'Loughlin?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Callahan?
Yeah.
Hayward?
yes.
Okay, so that is our agenda tonight. As far as additional items, I don't believe we had any council committee meetings since the last meeting.
No, no council committee meetings. I did, under council members, add a electronic meeting guideline. I borrowed this from another community. I have not purchased a Zoom meeting subscription at this point. We were looking at that today, and before I could get an email out to the folks at IndyTel, they've got another solution very similar to Zoom that they are testing on Thursday morning at their utility board meeting. And at this point, with everything that we see right now, the city council will be asked to, or I anticipate asking the council to go to all electronic meeting with the mayor, city clerk, and city manager present at the origination, which would be here in the council chambers. And each of you would be given a, in essence, a dial-in. You can use your computers, webcam on your computer, which you all have, and a telephone, or the audio on your computer. But it would be everybody dialing in. At this point, we anticipate there being more lockdown on how many public meetings we have, and so we're looking for those options right now. You'll see in these guidelines, it really spells out the legal provision for having these meetings electronically. We meet the emergency declaration, or the emergency status by the declaration the governor put out. The rest of the guidelines are there for your information. If anybody has concerns about that, or they see something in those guidelines that you're uncomfortable with, please let me know. But I really wanted it out there so you get a feel for where I anticipate us going with this. And we'll keep you posted as we go. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I just, again, in an effort to keep you informed and up to speed, that's where I'm at right now. Committee meetings will have to happen electronically. If we have our committee meetings April 6th, we have 2 weeks to work through that.
So we don't really have anything till April 6th for meeting schedule.
We have nothing scheduled before the 6th, and I would caution you, I don't know that there's anything on the 6th that's going to rise to the level of where I think we should bring people together at this point. We'll make the decision by the 1st. So April 13th really is our next council meeting. But again, we'll play it by ear. We'll see how things come together. Please give me your feedback if you see it differently, but right now, we're mostly concerned about the safety and the well-being of our council, our staff, and those people in the community. So, please work with us and let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you with that. I did have a question that came in for the fire chief on open burning and whether or not there would be a date set for that yet. Do you know what the date is?
I'm trying to remember, because we sat down and we talked to the mayor about it.
I believe it's the first full week of April, which would be one, two, it would start the evening, Friday night, the 3rd.
That's what I had in my mind as we were going from Friday the 3rd through Sunday the 12th.
So open burning will be April 3rd through the 12th.
So if that isn't what we agreed upon, that's what we agreed upon now, so.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
There was also a question about Mayor Davis and where is she at. Mayor Davis is at home. She is fine. She did ask, in light of the what's going on in our environment right now, that Mayor Pro Tem Hill take the meeting for tonight, and I think it was a prudent choice.
I'm the expendable one. We need to keep her going in emergencies.
There is a significant amount of discussion around the state of doing an emergency declaration by the mayor. At this point, we have not presented the mayor with that, although there may be some benefits to us down the road for doing that. We're evaluating it. It really doesn't change a lot. We are covered by the Buchanan County Emergency Declaration that has been made, the governor's declaration. But there's a school of thought out there that there may be some other benefits to a local declaration. I'm not sure that I see that yet, but if you do see that come out, it really doesn't change where we're at. It's just about opening up avenues of possibility for us in this pandemic. We are tracking all of the employees' hours. I told you that the utility folks are alternating days. We're working hard to make sure no employees are hurt financially during this time. But in our effort there to keep everybody safe and what have you, there are some expenses that we're incurring that may be above and beyond what we normally would. So we're tracking all of that for this declaration. There's a conference call on Wednesday to talk more about it. We'll learn more later this week as to what that means for us.
Are we doing any kind of screening, just for example, with the temperature, when the employees come in?
Not all employees. We are with our PD. They are screening daily. I think Dick and the fire department are screening currently, but we are not doing it citywide. Excuse me?
Why not?
We don't have anything that would suggest that that's necessary at this point. We can, but it hasn't risen to that level at this point.
Well, there's never going to be an indicator until somebody turns up to have the virus.
Well, part of the concern is, and again, we're trusting our employees to be prudent. If somebody has a fever, you know, that's one of in the plan or the policy that we just adopted. If they have a fever, stay home. I mean, that's the easy one. It is allergy season, so if somebody's got the sniffles or a slight cough, not a dry cough, obviously, but how do I balance that out with, you know, the coronavirus versus it's spring? And so we're trying to work through that with our employees as well. But the fever is the giveaway, absolutely. If they have one, we want them staying home.
And some people may not recognize that they have a low-grade temp. So I would rather see us err on the side of caution.
Okay? And we have no problem, you know, it's just a matter of putting the equipment in
Takes
each.
30 seconds. I go through it every morning when I go into work out there. Everybody that comes into work at the state
Might be next
hospital
thing, get thermometers and
has to go through the screening centers.
wipes and all that stuff to use that too.
Yeah, we have priced thermometers. They're not readily available, I will tell you, for the forehead thermometers.
Trump had that.
So, but I understand, and we can definitely do that.
Does anybody else have any comments to those that aren't here as far as the temperature taking? Okay, one thing on the Zoom, Al, is that going to be live FaceTime?
It'd be, yes, whether it be Zoom meeting or any of these other solutions, you will have the meeting in front of you. Everybody who's participating in the meeting will show up if they're speaking. You'll have the agenda in front of you, and we will have, you know, I anticipate trying to project it back here on the screen so you can see what's going on there. But you'll be able to participate just like Mike and Jen and John are tonight, only you'll have the visual to go with it. We've ordered the webcam, we've ordered the microphone that we need to do this, which is a USB powered mic. And we're, again, working with Indytel on what do we need to do to set it up to make this a reality. I'd be happy if in 3 weeks this all went away and we didn't need it. But at this point, we're planning for what do we have to do if it gets worse or continues as is. And again, just trying to be prudent with how we, you know, address
That would
things.
kind of come down from the governor.
Well, they've already kind of sent us down that road. There's a lot of places that are doing that currently. You know, tonight, we're staying to the 10 or fewer here at the council chambers. I appreciate the council members that were inconvenienced by having to call in, but again, the social distancing, the 10 or fewer here in the room, it's an inconvenience for our public, and I appreciate their understanding and their patience with us. We want to make sure that we stay receptive to them. The nice thing about the Zoom meeting is the public can dial into that. So instead of texting or emailing, they can log into the Zoom meeting just like you do. They have the same access to the audio and the visual. They can ask questions. There's a mechanism to be recognized and ask their questions. So we'll work through that with Indytel. You know, maybe it doesn't happen, but at this point, I just wanted to prepare you so that you are aware of it and say, that's where I see us headed over the next couple of weeks.
Hey, John, did you hear that?
I did.
I'm trying to give you forewarning that, you know, you're not going to be able to sit at the meeting in your skivvies with your inebriating Busch Light.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm looking out for you, John.
Thank you.
Important council business, Carl. Quit laughing.
All right, that's all I had for tonight.
Okay, any council members? Mike?
Just my compliments to the staff here and the rest of the city staff at large that's doing a great job with this in these tough times.
Hey, John?
I got nothing.
Okay, Carl?
Just to emphasize that everybody stay safe, and I seen a thing today, and I know it's not compelling to everyone, but if it said in there, if you did travel out of state, please come back and quarantine yourself for 14 days. And I hope people adhere to that. I think people are starting to understand it's a little bit more important than someone used to say, this too will go away. Well, everybody's doing a great job and continue to do so. Thank you.
Okay. Deb?
Nothing.
Okay, Jen?
Nope.
Mike?
No,
Okay. Gina? Okay, Dick? Okay,
We talked about, the only thing I had was the open burning, and we covered that, so.
okay. Well, just to reiterate what council members and Al has said, I think we can be very proud of our community because not only have city staff really pitched in and came up with guidelines and they're following those procedures. I know the library has worked out a system so that you can call in and get your books curbside. We're working very hard. We should thank our city employees, our county employees. I think the governor has done a tremendous job of stepping in and giving us some good guidance on where to go. You talk to people. I went to the post office the other day and we had a triangle 6 feet apart. So, I know we're all getting a little bit lonely and we're used to being around people. My neighbor called and I think we talked for about an hour last night, which for two guys, that's a lot of talking. So that's the way to handle it. Keep up the efforts to do the social distancing. We are set up at the hospital. My wife's been doing physical therapy, and they've got all kinds of protocol just to get in the building in preparation for any potential problems. We've had our emergency management meetings with the city, fire department, the police department, so that I think we've done a great job of preparing for potential. I loved a Facebook posting I saw the other day. It said, just remember, if we do all of this and nothing happens, that's what we wanted. So, do what's necessary, stay safe, stay home, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks for the next city council meeting.
Don't forget to remind people not to flush their wipes. Bonnie wanted you to do that.
After my illustrious speech, I have to come back to the sewer?
Bonnie wanted you to say that.
But just a reminder that we have had a lot of runs at the stores, and people are having a tendency to flush things down their stools that cause big problems for our septic systems, our sewer systems. The handy wipes and those types of things, the
3 Ps.
3 Ps?
Didn't you hear the governor give the 3 Ps?
No, what are the 3 Ps?
The only things that's supposed to be flushed on the toilet is pee, poop, and puke.
Oh, my God, you brought that up, Deb. They would accuse me of making that up.
That was the governor.
That was the governor, and if Deb said it's right, it's right. So I didn't say that so you can believe
for a
it.
motion to adjourn?
Yes.
A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Jen,
Jen seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody calling in.
Good night.
Good night.
See the one on Facebook where it said, all it was told when I went to Walmart